Hello everybody, this is the start of my programming tutorial series, and we're going to be learning C++. And so to start off with, I guess the first thing you need to know about computer programming is that you'll need what's called an IDE. That's an integrated development environment. And let's see. So there are several IDEs to choose from. One of the most popular ones is the Microsoft Visual Studio, and there's also a lightweight version called Microsoft Visual Studio Code. Personally, I prefer the original Visual Studio over Visual Studio Code. I guess just a little more traditional in that sense. There's also others like Code Blocks is another software or IDE. Let's see. An IDE is Integrated Development Environment. So here's some popular ones that you can see here. Visual Studio Code is a good one. And I'm gonna show you Code Blocks, which is a free IDE for C and C++, and apparently Fortran. You probably won't use Fortran unless you're doing government contract work. Go away. You got an ad. Go away, ads. Okay, let's see. Where's the download? Here we go. Download. Download the. All right, so yeah, there are different ways to download and install Code Blocks on your computer. We're just gonna download the binary release. That looks like the easiest way. Its Code Blocks is available on Windows, Linux, and Mac. So no matter what operating system you're using, there's a version of Code Blocks that's available to you. And I'm using Windows, so we're gonna download that. Okay, this big green download button is wrong. That's an ad. That's not what we want. It's deceptive. So yeah, you got to be careful. Sometimes those big green, you see ads and it has a big green download button, but it's not what you want to download. What we're actually looking for is these right here. All right. So download from FossHub or SourceForge.net. It doesn't matter. They're both the same. It's just a mirror. A mirror means that the download is hosted on a second website. So let's see, which version do we want? Okay, the code blocks 20.03 setup.exe file includes code blocks with all plugins. The code blocks 20.03 setup non-admin.exe file is provided for convenience to users that do not have administrator rights on their machines. Note the code blocks set. The code blocks 20.03 MinGW setup file includes additionally the GCC /G++, G Fortran compiler, and GDB debugger from MinGW W64 project. I don't think we need that. You know, we're just gonna go from this top one right here. So I'll download from SourceForge. Okay, and download will begin shortly. Oh, and there it goes. Okay. Set up. So now we just install it. Yes, we do want to allow it to make changes. All right. Setup will guide you through the installation of code blocks. Agree. Next. Install. All right, we're installing code blocks. Do we want to run code blocks now? Yes. Note, after auto detection, at least one compiler's master path is still empty and therefore invalid. Inspect the list below and change the compiler's master path later in the compiler options. Select your favorite default compiler here. Not found. No compiler detected. Okay. Current default compiler, GNU GCC compiler. Okay, we might need to set a compiler as well. Do you want to set it as the default? Let's see, I'm gonna say no, we don't. I prefer using Visual Studio, so we're gonna leave that as my default. Let's see, the compiler. I don't think we had a compiler. Let's see. Create new project. Okay, we're just going to do a console application. This is very basic. So just welcome to the new console application wizard. This wizard will guide you to create a new console application. When you're ready to proceed, click Next. And we're going to do C++. Project title, My First Program. And we want it to be, let's see, you can save it anywhere you want, really, it doesn't matter. I'm going to save mine in a folder called Coding Stuff. You probably don't have that folder, although you could make it if you want. And here you see project file name, myfirstprogram.cbp. So I think that stands for Code Block Project, Code Blocks Project, CBP. All right, next, compiler. Yeah, I'll just use the GNU GCC compiler. Yeah, all that's good. All the defaults good. Cannot find compiler executable in your configured search paths for GNU. Okay. Okay. Anyway, you see here's the default parameters that it gives us for just a default console application. So we've got include.io stream here at the top. That includes the input and output stream reader, which you need for inputting and outputting strings of text to the console. And then this next line right here says using namespace std. That stands for standard, not the other thing you're thinking of, not what you normally think STDs mean. This just means standard. So, and then we've got our main function right here. Int right here stands for integer, because every function in C++, every function has to have a variable type, or the type of variable it returns. We'll get more into that later. But in C++, it's typical for the main function to return an integer. In C#, the main function is usually void and doesn't return anything. But we're not doing C#, we're doing C++. And then this next line right here. Okay, and see here we've got the curly brackets. This for open curly bracket here, and then close curly bracket down there. And our code goes between the curly brackets, and we can click this little plus and minus arrow, or not arrow, but button, the plus and minus button to hide or show that portion of the code. And what we've got here, cout, that means console out, that outputs text to the console. And then we've got these two less than, the two less than brackets. And then our text here, this text here is what we're outputting to the console. It says hello world, that's just a default. Typically the first application that anyone makes is the hello world output. And then here we have our endl, end line function, and that tells the compiler that that's the end of the line. And then here, next line, we've got return 0 because it has to return something. And like I said, in C# you don't have to return anything, but this is C++. And in C++ we do have to return an integer value. But since we don't actually have to do anything, we just return the number 0 as our integer. Let's see if this works. No, let's see. Active debugger converted. You need to specify a debugger to perform the. You need to specify a debugger program in the debugger settings. Okay. So apparently we need to specify a debugger. Let's go back to the website. Maybe we should have done the MinGW setup. Let's go to the website here, this MinGW. Download the latest version. So yeah, you see what happens if apparently Code Blocks doesn't come with its own compiler, so we've got to download that separately. Alrighty, come on. Okay. Extract that. Where did that go? Okay, here it is. Alright, and how do we do that? Wait, no, that's not what I wanted. No, let's see here. Open a new window. Where do I put this? Hold on a second. I'm going to stop the recording here while I figure out what to do with the compiler. Alright, I think I figured it out. So I downloaded, I think, the wrong thing, or not necessarily the wrong thing, but something which I did it the harder way, so the one I downloaded was this one. Let's see if I can move the windows out of the way so you can see. There we go. So yeah, this was the one I downloaded, which is basically the one without the installation. It's just the raw files. And you can do that, but it's harder to set up, and I don't want to figure that out right now. So there's another one, which is basically the same thing, but it's this one, and it just gives you a setup file that handles it for you. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's see. All right, and here we go. We're going to do the setup on that. Continue. All right. So now we're installing our MinGW GCC compiler. Sorry, the window's probably in the way. a bunch of windows. It's probably hard for you to see what I'm clicking on. Let's see here. So installation, all packages, basic setup. We're going to do, okay, please select a package from the list above to view related data. And so let's see, which ones do we need? Okay, we want C++. Mark that for installation, and let's also mark the C compiler for installation as well. We won't be needing Fortran or IDE, so, but we'll install the rest. Apply all upgrades. Update catalog. You have marked packages for installation, but if you update the catalog without committing these changes, they will be discarded, and you may need to reschedule them. Cancel request. Okay, apply changes. That's what we want. Okay, okay to proceed. The package changes itemized below will be implemented when you choose apply. So 0 packages removed, 0 installed, 117 new upgraded packages. No, 0 installed packages will be upgraded, 0 removed, 117 new or upgraded packages will be installed. Apply that. All right. It's connecting to prdownloads.sourceforge.net. And the link will be provided so that you know where to go to download this. I guess we just gotta wait here. It's taking a little bit. All right. Okay, come on. Oh, is it done? No, not quite done. All right, it's almost done, it looks like, I think. I guess not. it's still going. How long does this take? Yeah, probably should have done this before jumping into the code, because yeah, the installation of everything probably, yeah, would have been good. Okay, it looks like it's done now. Close. All right, we got all that installed. And let's see. All right, now back in here. So you can see our error message right here was what was telling us that it's not installed. Active debugger, let's see. There we go. Yes. Debug continue. Why is this not? Okay. Debug. Okay, we want this button right here, run. Build and run, actually. Wait. Project target debug the command. Okay, let's see where we go. Settings. It says go to settings, compiler, and then global. Sorry, I'll try to keep it over here so you can see it. Where's the global? Oh, global compiler settings. I guess this whole thing is global. Okay, yeah, the global. Go to settings, compiler, global compiler settings. This whole thing is apparently the global compiler settings. GNU GCC compiler. What is the? And then so go to the GNU GCC compiler. Where is that? Okay, that's this. So we're already on that. And then toolchain executables right here. And then fix the compiler's setup. Where did I install it? I guess that would be important. Okay, it looks like it's just on the C, the root directory of the C drive. So, auto detect. Okay, there we go. Now this is, now you see this is what the default program does. The default console application. This window here is called the console, and the program just outputs the text "Hello World" to the console. Process return 0 with execution time. That's just some information. All right, so that's how we get up and running in C++ with the code blocks IDE. And sorry if that was a little roundabout, a little confusing, maybe not the best way to do it. I probably should have prepared more before just jumping in, but there you go. And yeah, all the links will be provided in the description, so you can just go ahead and download all that and get started with code blocks. I may switch to Visual Studio because I don't know if I like code blocks. But yeah, all right, that's all for now. That's all for lesson 1. So yeah, goodbye. See you next time. Like and subscribe.